this is Linda of the Tutu Tango Show, and I am here with you. I want to share a thought. I did a Facebook Live when I was in Old Salem, and I don't think it uploaded yet, so we're going to see if we can get that uploaded to you. But I promised that I had a special message that I was going to post, and so I wanted to sit and chat with you a little bit right now. And one of the topics that we've kind of been processing lately, and I've been talking with people in a couple of different circles, but it just kind of came to me during that walk that I wanted to share, is choosing how we choose relationships and what is the baseline for our decisions when we're making certain relationship choices. And as I was kind of meditating and reflecting on that, one of the things that came to me, the word that came to me to give to you all, is to understand the difference between choosing relationships based on pleasure versus purpose. Thinking about choosing relationships based on pleasure versus purpose. Now, we've all been guilty of that. I'm sure any of us that have had more than one or two relationships in our past, unless you're just kind of new on the dating scene or relationship scene. But usually when we choose relationships, we choose it based on pleasure. And what do I mean when I say that? We choose relationships, or we choose a potential mate or a mate because it could be because of the aesthetic of the person. They look, they're our type. They look the way that we like our mate to look. But also not just that. We may also be thinking about the pleasure that it might give us in a physical, intimate, or keeping a real talk, people's, in a sexual way. And so, people may choose their relationships for pleasure in that regard. For others, it's a pleasure in terms of how a person makes us feel. And it's feeling based. So this person may be very complimentary, and so give us lots of compliments. A person may, stroke our egos a little bit and makes us feel in good in that way. A person might give us a lot of attention, and so that makes us feel good. That gives us a lot of emotional pleasure or social pleasure, and so we may choose a relationship based on that. But what we often find is that when we choose relationships based on pleasure, our relationships become more transactional in nature. And the challenge with that is when our relationships are transactional in nature, then we experience this thing that we often term falling in and out of love, because when someone else fulfills that pleasure in a greater way or in a different way, then our usefulness for the person that is in our life is deteriorated or declined. Also, when the ritual, or what we might say the habit, or the day-to-day, or even the mundane shows up in our life, then as the pleasure or the perceived pleasure decreases, so does our attraction and connection to the person if it's pleasure-based. Also, when life shows up and adversities or challenges show up, once again, usually in a space of tragedy or adversity, everything may not be all rainbows and unicorns and skittles, as we say. And so because life has shown up and the pleasure is no longer currently ever present, then we start to view and perceive our partner in a different way. Now, when we choose purpose-based relationships, it's different. Now, I'm not at all saying that purpose-based relationships cannot have pleasure. In fact, purpose-based relationships can give us great pleasure, but from a different place. Purpose-based relationships have a different foundation. And that is when we build a relationship based on purpose, the foundation for that relationship is stronger. That purpose-based relationships are built on character, shared values, shared goals and visions and life missions and purposes. So your mate that you're choosing has the characteristics, the values, the temperament, and the skills to support you in the manifestation or the achievement of God's purpose for your life. Equally, you have the characters, the values, the temperament, the skills, the ability to support your partner's life purpose and mission and God-given vision and plan for your life. And then your joint mission, meaning your missions become complementary, or your personalities, your temperaments, what you bring together creates a joint mission and purpose that you fulfill in the earth and planet together. You become teammates, you become team members, you become partners, you become co-creators in life, just creating a beautiful life and world together that's driven by purpose. And the beautiful thing about that is that, number one, God is at the foundation of that relationship, which definitely makes that relationship rock solid and strong. But also what it does is it gives you the elements and the ingredients that you need to not only have a lot of fun and play and romance and love and passion and all those wonderful things, that sensual sexiness that you want to have, of course, in your relationship, but it also has the ingredients that are necessary to meet the ritual, the day-to-day, the mundane, the ups and downs of life, the adversity, the challenges, the opportunities for growth. The ingredients that you have as individuals and as a couple also is there to be able to meet those as well. So I wanted to just share that word with you in terms of relationships, because what I was reflecting on is why do relationships seem to fall apart so easily nowadays? Like, what's going on? What are we missing? What are we not aware of? What do we not know? And what are we not prepared for that positions our relationships to be so weak? And that was the word that came to me. It's about understanding that you want to choose a relationship based on purpose versus pleasure. Another way that I like to put it, and I'll leave you all with this note, is rather than shopping for your mate with your eyes, shop for your mate with your heart, mind, and spirit. It's not to say that you can't have an aesthetically pleasing partner, but it's just to know that as time wanes on, the coming of children even, the aesthetics of a man or a woman is likely to change. It most certainly will change over time. Whether for good or bad, for better or worse, a person's aesthetic is going to change over time. So when you choose and you shop for a mate based on the aesthetic, the outside way that they look that pleases you and excites you and delights you, that alone, or if that is on the forefront, you're going to set your relationship up for failure, because that is certainly going to come. And as that aesthetics change, then your attraction level and your passion and connection and desire for them is going to change. However, when you shop with your heart, your mind, and your spirit, then your attraction, your desire for a person is generated and sustained from a deeper level that can grow over time as opposed to wane. So just wanted to share that little word with my party people, and let me know what your comments are. What are your thoughts about pleasure versus purpose-driven relationships, and how do you, what sort of mechanisms or criteria do you use to determine who to consider to be a partner or mate in your life? Let me know in the comments below. This is Lean the Sutton of the 2 Tango Show. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you comment below. And as we say on the 2 Tango Show, it not only takes two to tango, but absolutely it takes you to tango. Ciao.